Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Board States podcast. We are your hosts, Reggie
and Jazz.
And today our main topic is Essen Spiel. This is an enormous convention over in Germany that happens in October. And we're going to talk about a hype list, games that we have seen that will be debuting there that we are excited. Hundreds and hundreds of games are introduced at this convention every year. It is one of the big ones in the world, in the country, but also in the world. And we are very excited about that. Before we get into that, we are going to have a mini game. As always, I've got a fun one for you all. And at the end of the episode, as always, we always conclude with En la Mesa, which is on the table. We'll talk about a game that is a first impression for each of us. I'll be bringing up Skyrise, and Jazz will be talking about the Shores of Tripoli. So Jazz, what do you think of cons? Like, what do you get out of board game conventions? Let me know.
Cons are just a great time, just with friends. A lot of times, in this hobby, you don't get to see all the people that you associate with, online, that you just talk about games, whether you're in content creation or not. I know people who are not in content creation who look forward to these conventions just because of people that they meet on Facebook groups and Instagrams, and they on Discord servers, that they're just meeting together just to play games at these conventions. That's probably one of the best things I like, is just get to meet other gamers, people that you can nerd out with, you can talk to, and they understand what you're talking about, right? Because us
For
gamers, it's funny. I think
we got our own language.
Yeah, it's funny. I think I saw some meme or some reel earlier this week, and it was it has just someone just jibber jabbering about like board games, and it's like the other person is just not listening, right? And I feel how it always is. When someone asks me about a game, I'm ready to just give them everything, talk about everything in my collection, but at a board game convention, you can do that.
It's literally why we started a podcast, so we could just yap about board games. And it's so funny because there's so many terms that are just board, like no one but board gamers knows what orthogonal means. No one but board gamers uses the word cull or uses like grok. There's just so many random words that we use. I agree, the people are the best. I will say I am notorious for wanting to just like maximize the amount of games that I play at conventions. I really love focused cons. Like I just went to Dice Tower West this year and PAX West. And I think I've been trying to be better about the social side and like going out to dinner and getting away from the con and stepping away. But my excuse, I want to tell anyone who's felt shunned by me at conventions that I just don't have a consistent game group where I get to play, where I have people who are eager about board games, that are ready to learn a heavy game, we're ready to sit down for 2.5 hours. So when I go to conventions, I just want to just soak it all up.
Now, let me ask you, Reg, when it comes to conventions, are you the type that is going to stay up all the way until like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to game, and then you're up at 7 o'clock as well?
Yeah, shout out to Bonzinator and a big crew of people. We were playing in Vegas. Vegas is a 24-hour con, so you're able to do that at Dice Tower West. And what's crazy is it's always in March, and it's always when the US has spring forward, so we lose an hour. So the clock goes from 1:59 a.m. to 3 a.m. And so we're just playing the silliest games till like 4 a.m. That this year we did it, but then I sleep in till like 10 or 11. I need 6-7 hours sleep or I'm not functional. So, but I try to get sleep. I'd rather play board games with coffee than like really dragging on at 1 a.m. if I'm being honest.
Oh no, I hear you. I'm the opposite. Yeah. I'm the one who like commutes to the convention. I'm there, especially like my local convention, PAX Unplugged. I commute there. Mm-hmm. I am there like an hour before the hall opens up. I am there till like 1 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning. I commute back home about 30 minutes, and then I'm back there 7:30. I'm up, and I'm at the convention 8:30.
We're maximizers, baby. Maximizers.
Yeah, I gotta play those games, right?
Gotta. Okay. State of Mind is the name of our mini game, and we do different ones every time. And so this time I've got one that's completely based on a real board game. This is called My Favorite Things. It is a trick-taking party game. So have you played My Favorite Things?
Never even heard of it.
Okay, it's amazing. I love it so much. It basically turns a like get to know you party game into a trick taker. And so how it usually works is you have to rank a category from 1 to 5, your 5 favorite of whatever the category is. For the person to your right is going to give you a category, and you have to rank them, and you have to come up with a heartbreaker, which is something within the category you don't like. So my one, I've played it before, I've said vegetables, and I put my top 5 vegetables, and as my heartbreaker, I put Brussels sprouts. The heartbreaker is kind of like a Trump suit, but you're playing blind. You don't know the number. You just see carrot or leek on there or whatever. No one would put leek in their top 5. You put the vegetables on there, and then I'm playing down a vegetable carrot versus my buddy Joey's favorite board game versus his fiance's favorite houseplant versus our friend's favorite horror movies, and you're trying to see if you can beat them without it's crazy. So how we're playing it today,
okay,
is we're gonna do it Knizia edition, okay? Because Rainer Knizia is German. He's the most prolific designer ever, and he has 23 titles in the Essen preview. So I thought it'd be good. And as per usual, the victory points are going to be a Puerto Rican cuisine, and that today is gandules. So we're going to see, you can earn up to 6 gandules, which are pigeon peas. If you don't know, arroz con gandules is very, very popular in Puerto Rican homes all over the world.
That's right.
I'm going to give you 6 Rainer Knizia games, and listeners, you can play along, especially if you've listened to my content before. I think some of you can get this right. I'm going to give you 6 Knizias. You're going to try to just rank the 5 of them and dictate which one is my heartbreaker, aka the one that I do not like. Are you ready to hear the 6 games?
I am ready.
Okay, and you can, like, I don't know, you can write them down or whatever. I'll repeat them as many times as you need.
I'm going to write them down.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. In no particular order, the games are High Society, Lost Cities, My City, Blue Lagoon, Modern Art, and Quest for El Dorado.
All right. And you want me to rank these in order?
In my preference of order. You're trying to see which of the 5 of these 6 games are the 5 that Reggie likes in order, which is his favorite and his 5th favorite, and then also trying to pick which one is the heartbreaker, which one I don't like.
All right, I'm gonna go. I think I have a feeling I know what your number 1 is.
Your favorite? Oh, let's hear it. Let's hear. I'm not gonna react. Let's hear it.
Quest for El Dorado.
Okay, you're putting Quest at number 1. I'm writing this down as well.
Modern Art at number 2.
Got it.
High Society at 3.
Okay.
Ooh, this is where it gets tough for me, Reg.
Yeah, you've got Blue Lagoon left, My City, and Lost Cities.
I'm gonna go My City at 4.
Okay.
Blue Lagoon at 5, and Lost Cities is your heartbreaker, the one that you don't like, which I know is one that's favored by a lot of people too.
It is favored by a lot of people. So let's see. Okay, good job. You have earned yourself 2 gandules.
Oh, shoot.
2 gandules. Okay. And do you want to make one switch before now that you know you have 2 in the correct spot?
2 in the correct spot. Okay. I can make just one flip-flop or one switcheroo?
Yeah, make one flip-flop. Yeah, make one switcheroo.
Let's flip-flop Modern Art and Quest for El Dorado.
Let's flip-flop Modern Art and Quest for El Dorado, and now you have 3 correct. Good job. So my top 5 Knizia games are Modern Art, the auction game. Then Blue Lagoon is my number 2.
Ooh, okay.
A little bit of a sentimental pick. I think that was the first Knizia I ever played. Quest for El Dorado is a recent favorite for number 3. My City, you got correct. That is my number 4. High Society at 5, and you are right that Lost Cities is just, I don't get it. I know people love it. I don't get the hype. I don't get the hype. Talking about hype lists here. So, okay. Did you enjoy that? I hope. I'm sorry.
I did. No, listen, I love ranking things, and I like that. I like that. I've never played Blue Lagoon. I've played, and the 3 I've never played. I've never played My City, Blue Lagoon, or Modern Art, and I've heard great things about Modern Art and Blue Lagoon. My City, from what I hear, just doesn't vibe with me. I play it.
Yeah, it's a legacy. It's a legacy polyomino, flip and place game. So, okay, we're gonna move on to the main topic here, but I just want to say for mini games, we're going to keep coming with those all the time. I've got more that
I'm getting
are
better at
inspired
it,
by.
Reg. I'm getting better.
Yeah, you're getting better. We're three in, and I'm going to do some ones that are, a lot of them are going to be inspired by real board games. So I've been trying to find some really clever ones like that. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Essen hype list, and I'm just going to give a preamble before Jazz will start here. How you check out the previews on Board Game Geek is you go to Board Game Geek, dear listener, you go to Board Game Geek, then you click on browse, and then there's a button for previews. And any big conventions that are coming up, there's a preview where publishers will put their games on here. And when you're on the preview list, you can sort it by the name of the publisher, you can sort it by price. A lot of people are going to sort it by thumbs hot. So the more people who have given it a thumbs up are saying that this game is hot and everybody wants to get it. I'm going to just spoil right now. I don't have a single game on my list that I want to talk about that's in the top 5 most hyped games, and they're all pretty heavy in Euro. I mean, it's Essen in Europe, so who knows? Okay. So we're going to get going. We're just going to alternate, and Jazz is going to talk about his first game. And we did not share these lists with each other, so we'll be reacting as we can.
Correct. So the first game that I'm talking about is called, I'm probably going to butcher this, Meister Makatsu. This is a Reiner Knizia game, Reg.
That's what I like to hear, baby. One of the 23. One of the 23.
Listen, I didn't know you had Knizia as your game for today, your mini game for today. Yeah. But yeah, this is a game. It's a card game from Amigo. It's just about playing these like ninja mentors. Everybody has the same, equal decks of these ninja cards, almost like ninja monkeys. I think it's what the art is. Just thought it was something that looks cool. The idea is having, playing your hands, scoring the lowest amount of points. I love these quick, easy Knizia card games. It's just something like if I'm going to Essen, I'm flying back, so I need something light. So this is a card game, is the first pick that I'm going for, and this Knizia is the one that just jumped out at me. I know Amigo Games is really good with just coming these light, quick, fun card games that are just family weight. Everybody can get them to the table. Perfect for conventions, having the small box card games. You take them with you, and you're playing them late at night. So yeah, that's the first one on my list. Nothing super like that just juts out at me, but I know that if I was there, this is one of the ones that I'm picking up to bring home with me.
For sure. I can't even find it. How do we spell it for the listeners here?
All right. It's spelled Meister. Second word, Makatsu. M-A-K.
Meister Makatsu.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, they look like the red-faced macaques, wow, that's cool. Okay, cute. Yeah, and again, I just was taught Penguin Party by the lovely Alba, part of the Punchboard Cathedral podcast. Meeples and Beninis is her name over on Instagram. And when she was here in Portland, she taught me Penguin Party, and it's the simplest little numbered card game from Reiner Knizia. And I'm just like, this is so clever. It's just, I feel like I could have thought of this, it's like, and yet it was really fun. So, okay. Mine first one's also small. It's a little bit of a spin-off here, and that is 7 Wonders Dice here.
Ooh.
Did you hear this is coming?
Yeah, I did not hear this was coming, Reg.
It's a roll and write paper and pencil version of 7 Wonders. And it's interesting, right now it has like a 5.9 out of 36 ratings, which I'm like is not super good so far, but I just have to try it. Like, I love 7 Wonders Architects. I love 7 Wonders Duel, especially the Lord of the Rings version. I like the original 7 Wonders. I'm not obsessed with it, but I think I just like what they do with this system. And Repost Production has just done a good job over the time. And I also just love roll and writes as a genre. So I'm 100% going to try this when it comes to the US, whenever that may be. 7 Wonders Dice.
Agree. This one looks super interesting. I'm just looking at it right now. Give me a good roll and write that can give me the feel of one of the big box games, and I'm all in for it.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a quick one. It's still Antoine Bauza, but it just there's not much info on it, but I definitely want to try out 7 Wonders Dice.
Nice. Yeah, my next game is one that I actually saw Jay over at Cardboard East talk about last year, going into like PAX Unplugged, and it was on the PAX Unplugged preview list last year. This was the actual board game, and it's called Magic Number 11. But at Essen, they're releasing the expansion to this game, Magic Number 11, and I have been fortunate enough to have a copy of not only the game, but I was able to get the expansion as well. Essen from the publisher actually came to me last week because I was really big and hyped on this one. So I'm fortunate to have a copy. I have not yet busted it out and played it, but I will tell you the base game is incredible. It's a 2-player head-to-head like soccer simulation game, and this one is all about just controlling your players. You're playing different players out onto the table, trying to match up symbols, soccer symbols, boost symbols, things like that, to be able to maneuver your players onto the field and be able to score the goal. But what's super interesting about this game, and I know Jay at Cardboard East, the way he talked about this game, and he's not super big into sports themed games, and I love sports. This was one that gives you that same feel. Like, soccer is not a very high scoring game, and this is the same thing. I remember my first play of this was at PAX Unplugged with a buddy of mine who's not a soccer player, and we went into extra time, and the game ended on penalty kicks. So they even have a penalty kick mechanism in this game that acts like real penalty kicks. Super good, and I'm super excited to see what the expansion is. And I know it's a very small publisher. You're not gonna be able to get thousands of copies of this game. So if you are at Essen, I say this is one you go run to their booth and check out, because if you like soccer or football, everywhere else but the United States, this is definitely one that gives you that feel, but is a solid, really solid 2-player head-to-head card game.
Cool. Wow. Yeah, this looks interesting. It's so funny. I'm going to be making content. I'll just shout out Best 11, which is coming. It's on Kickstarter now in September. Whenever you're listening to this, September 2025, and it's a soccer-themed like blind bidding set collection game. And I was thinking, like, there's not enough sports themed games out there. There's a couple baseball. Maybe we need to do a future episode on sports themed board games.
I'm all in for it.
Yeah, Magic number 11. And I'm not a soccer player. I'm an American football person, but I gotta admit that soccer is the world's game. And Ted Lasso also gave me a little bit of love for soccer. So I'll enjoy that. Okay. My next game that I'm hyped for Essen also doesn't have a ton of information on it, but it is called Aquaria. Have you seen this one?
I have not.
This is like you're taking care of your lionfish and a bunch of fish. It's a medium weight Euro game coming from Delicious Games. The designer is Tomáš Holek. This is a Czech designer. That name may be familiar to you because
you got me intrigued already, Reg.
Yes, this guy is popping off. This is why me and Jazz were talking before the episode, and I was like, I need a rookie of the year. This is Jaden Daniels from the NFL. Sorry, more sports references, but this is the kid who just shows up and he's a quarterback in the NFL his first year and is just popping off with getting all these touchdowns. He literally released SETI, Tea Garden, and Galileo Galilei all in 2024, all has his debut games.
Crazy.
And so now people are just like, I want to see whatever this kid is going to do. And I agree. I'm saying it as if he was a football player. I have no idea how old this guy is. But I also just love, anything fauna, nature related. I love animals so much. Nature themes, always my favorite. So this one's interesting. This will be a nice little follow-up to Finspan for me here, is to check out Aquaria. And it says about 45 minutes per player, which for me is perfect. I love that. I love to be able to play a solo game in 45 minutes, and I'd love to play a 2-player game in 90 minutes. That sounds great to me. It's got 1 to 4 players. Looks very standard Euro-y stuff. It's got endgame bonuses, set collection, worker placement, hand management. So Aquaria, coming from the Rookie of the Year, Tomáš Holek.
Yeah, I'm looking at this for the first time now, and this is something that by the box cover art, it looks like a super family weight game. But then when you think of the designer and the games that he's put out, it's a 3.0, out of 5 complexity on BGG scale, which is that medium weight, medium to a little bit medium plus, right? But medium heavy-ish.
Medium
heavy-ish. But this has got me intrigued. I like the way the board setup looks. Yeah, this is something that you've got me intrigued. I did not know about this. This definitely flew under my radar. I should have searched this list by designer, honestly, because
I know it's harder to do than you'd think for the listeners out there. I did it through hotness, and then I did it through publisher, and then I went through and did looked at the more recent ones. It's tough to do with the previous. There's 900 plus titles on there right now in September, when the event is not for another 6 weeks. So. What's your next one, Jazz?
Well, I'm just going to piggyback right off of you, because Tomáš Holek is my next game as well, but this is the SETI expansion, the Space Agency's expansion.
Space Agency. Oh my gosh,
like-
this is great, huh? Because I'll just cut in. Sorry, but like Lost Ruins of Arnak. Are you an Arnak fan?
I am an Arnak fan.
The first expansion they did with Arnak, asymmetric powers.
Yes, and
first expansion. Yeah.
In the first expansion, asymmetric powers. But what's really interesting that I like about it is going to have these like, you know, pre-setups for each faction. It looks like similar to like Terraforming Mars, right? Where
Terraforming Mars,
you know, you play it with what's that one small box expansion?
Prelude, is it Prelude or
like,
yep.
And this kind of gives me that same vibes of, hey, there's going to have these quick start cards, you know, for every organization that you have. And SETI is one of my big smash hits of last year. I will say, hands down, this is definitely my top 3 games of 2024. It blew me by surprise. Obviously, the theme was one that I was very interested in. But man, when I first learned it solo, and I don't play a lot of solo games, I had no problem playing 3 games straight of SETI solo.
Wow. That is saying a lot, actually. Yeah. It's heavy,
playing it
with
others.
Wow. That's cool. I love expansions. I did not put an expansion on my list here. I probably should have, but I do love SETI. It also go. I'm going to do like a top 5 games from 2024. Maybe we should do a look back, maybe at some point here in the fall, together on the pod. But the thing about SETI is I'm actually not a sci-fi fan. Like I'm a fantasy fan, always have been. And yet I love SETI, and I don't even want to say this to our small but mighty listeners. I feel like I'm going to lose our small group of listeners already. But SETI, I really think I'll play SETI over Terraforming Mars anytime now. Like it is just my preferred version of a sci-fi big deck energy game, and I'm set. There, I said it.
Oh no, hands down. I would.
Yeah,
I'm right on board with you. Like Terraforming Mars, a good game, solid game. I didn't get it to the table enough, which is the only reason I culled it. Super solid game, but man, SETI it blew me away. Like, give me more. I'll play this game anytime. I don't care how long it takes to play. I will play it. Give me a 3-hour game of SETI. I'm loving it.
I know, and it's interesting because I've played long games of it, but like the very first time I played it, we played it in like 2.5 hours at 3 players, and I've heard people play like 5-hour games of this. So I think the AP can be heavy if you're with the wrong people, but it can be, I think it's pretty snappy turns. I like that one.
No, it is snappy. I would say the max has been 3 hours, and that was a teaching game that I taught others, and after that games were snappier. So yeah, give me this expansion right now. I want it.
Yeah. Okay. My next one is also another continuation of a series. This is Unmatched Adventures, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I saw this one too.
Now, this is one where I have already purchased this. Like I bought this through Game Nerds. It should be shipping to me in like late October or something, which is, I think the release date is Essen. That's why. So I don't know how long it'll take to get here to the west coast of the US, but I did not play the original Unmatched Adventures. These are the co-op version of Unmatched. The original one was really cool. It's kind of set in like an alternate, I think 50s, someone correct me if I'm wrong there, where it's got like Nikola Tesla and like that era of people. And you can take the 4 characters that are in the co-op and play them competitive. And I love when a game allows you to do either or. And so now you can take the 4 turtles to fight Shredder and Krang or whatever, but also I could play, you know, Donatello's my favorite turtle, by the way. I'm gonna throw that out there. Donatello versus Bigfoot or something. And I'm just so excited to do that type of stuff. And Ninja Turtles for me, this is just a little bit of a side tangent here. Like if I had to rank my top 5 IP, let's see if we can get some more fans back. Let me see if I can get some fans back from losing them with Terraforming Mars. My number 1 favorite IP of all time is Marvel. Then it's Game of Thrones. Then it's Lord of the Rings. Then it is Gears of War, which we've talked about. I've read the books. I did the comics. I played the video games. And then number 5 is always a toss-up between like the DC universe and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And now Dune's creeping up there too. But like, I just love the Ninja Turtles. I love their rogues gallery. I love their like family dynamics and their humor and just the randomness of the, like, they're named after like Renaissance painters. It's just, it's insane. And then I'll just shout out Rob Davio is one of the designers, very famous for like all the legacy games and stuff. And Kwanchai Moria is one of them. I think he's like the premier artist on here, which is awesome. So yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming to Unmatched in a co-op / competitive mode.
Yeah, that's gonna be huge. I know people love Unmatched. I love Unmatched. I play the digital version of it, but man, give me some turtles. I'm a huge turtle fan. I'm a Leonardo guy, but yeah, give me the turtles. I love the turtles.
And I have 4 boxes. I'm looking over here at my shelf here. I've got Cobble and Fog, Legends 1 and Legends 3, and I have the Bigfoot and Robin Hood. So I'm going to have a good selection of unmatched characters by the time we do another big tournament on a dad weekend with my group of friends. It'll be fun.
Gotta love that. All right, so on to my next game on this list. This one, this designer had a game that came out last year at Essen that got a whole heck of a lot of buzz. It was at PAX Unplugged. I got a chance to play it in their preview area where they had the first play, they call it, at PAX Unplugged. And this was Fishing, which was a trick-taking game. And this designer, Friedman Freeze, is coming out with another trick-taking game called Fearless. And I am super stoked for this one.
Okay, we have a crossover.
We do.
That is on my honorable mentions list. Yep. Okay, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, and this one is, Fishing was this simple trick-taking game that just had these elements of just adding cards to it. But this one, what I've read about it, again, simple. You have 4 suits, but there's no trump. Highest is going to win. Highest is going to win the trick. But there's these negative values as well that are going to be, mixed into the deck. So I'm interested to see how he incorporates that. So that's something that I was really I was kind of surprised with how Fishing was, a very easy, quick to learn game. It kind of progressively introduces you to these different cards. So I think Friedman Freeze does a really good job of putting these small box card games together that I love all of them. All right.
Yeah.
But Fearless is another one that I am super stoked for. Definitely.
That's awesome. I found this today and I was like, you know what? I'm throwing this on my honorable mentions because I've been talking to my friends about it. I have a surfboard. I'm ready. I am riding this trick-taking wave. I'm on the train with everybody. I've been playing Rebel Princess and Skull King and Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Trick-Taking game. We talked about that last episode or a couple episodes ago. I'm all about the trick-taking and the +6, -6, the values, having cards that have a negative value is really unique. Shout out to, I have not played Fishing yet, but I think I will, from what I heard about Fishing, I think this one, Fearless, is actually a little more up my alley. So I'm excited about that one. Okay. I think maybe we got to do, maybe one more here and then some honorable mentions.
Oh yeah. Sounds good.
Do you have some honorable mentions? Great. So my last big one here is Hacienda. This has a beautiful box cover. It's Pandasaurus. And I want to shout out Joan Gardier is the artist. I love this unique art style. It is set in Argentina, the Patagonia area. So the native animals that are here in this ecosystem are pumas, capybaras, and guanacos, which I just can't get enough of. Guanacos are in the llama family, It's got hexagon grids and open drafting, tile placement, and network building. So I'm all things I love. That's great. Nature theme, that's great. But the real reason I can't wait to try this is they are pairing up the designers, Daryl Andrews of Sagrada fame, and world famous Wolfgang Kramer. So I'm just wait, these two they were also working on a different game that's on here. I think it's called Ley Lines. And I'm oh, these guys are working together. And I just, this looks right up my alley. I don't have much to say besides I will probably be just buying this one sight unseen. It just is just made for me with the theme and the designers and the weight. It's probably gonna be a 2.0, I would bet. 2 to 5 players from Pandasaurus Hacienda.
Listen, anytime you put a game out that Daryl puts out is something that I'm always looking at. But when you combine him with Wolfgang Kramer, and for both of them to put out this and Ley Lines is that from Arcane Wonders, definitely two that are on my radar. But I completely forgot about Hacienda, and it's one that I do remember Daryl posting a while back ago, I think on social media. But yeah, this one looks good as well. So
you know what? You're right. This is another reimplementation. It's a game. It's re-implementing just a Wolfgang Kramer design. It seems like Daryl Andrews was hey, I like your games. They didn't get enough love. Let me help you co-design a refresh for both of these. Because Ley Lines is also a re-implementation of a different game. I don't know if we looked at what that was. Ley Lines is re-implementing Oxa, which is a German words as well. So yeah, wow, interesting. Okay, how about you tell us some of your honorable mentions here?
All right, my honorable mention here. This one is a another. This is actually a demo, a game that's going to be there for demo that I'm super excited about. I had no idea this was even coming out. It wasn't until I started going through this list. And this is going to be the follow-up to Rebel Princess, and it's going to be Zombie Princess. And listen, growing up in our household, with my family, dominoes was a big thing, and spades was another one. And for this one, Zombie Princess is going to be a take on a trick-taking version of spades, and I want to see what they do, because Rebel Princess was a playoff on hearts, right? And this one's going to be a playoff on spades. It's going to have, I guess, this team dynamic, which I really love when it comes to trick-taking games, when you play that team game. So give me everything that you have Bezier Games with this one, because as soon as it hits the shelves, I think they said like Q2 of 2026, I'm there for it. Yeah. So hopefully they have it for demo at PAX Unplugged, because I'm sitting down first day.
I did not know that it was based on spades, and now it is also a must-buy for me. That was all, we have that in common. I think we've talked about this.
Yes.
Dominoes, spades, and rummy were the 3 games that I played growing up with my family, so I did not know that, and now this is a must-buy for me. Thank you.
You're welcome, Reg.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had Fearless, so now I actually only have 2 honorable mentions and 1 dishonorable mention. I'm going to rapid fire these. The honorable mention first is Cascadia Alpine Lakes, and it's an honorable mention because it's a sequel standalone to Cascadia, and I have a prototype copy, so I will be playing this as a review copy very soon. It's actually the earliest I've ever gotten a game before. Like, it doesn't even hit Kickstarter till October. So just know, if you want to check out the channel or the Instagram, Rolling Reggie, Lobby of Hobbies will be sharing probably the many games in the future, but Cascadia Alpine Lakes looks really awesome. It's got a pika on the front, the cutest little creature you've ever seen in your life. And then another trick-taking game, this is Crits and Tricks, and I put this as an honorable mention because the designer, his name is Pete Wissinger, and he is over on Decision Space podcast, and I listen to him all the time. I feel like I know him. We've interacted in the Discord, and it's like a trick-taking game with like D20s, and so you can like kind of roll a dice instead of playing a card sometimes. It seems really, really cool, and it's like evolved into this like really clean game from what I've heard. And then one just really quick honorable mention is a game called Covenant. This is on the hot list. If you like sort by hot, it's like the 4th game, and it's Devere, and it's a medium heavy looking game, and it just has dwarves on the front, and that's all I need to know. I'm such a fantasy dwarf, like I'm so obsessed with them. I've always loved like Gimli and stuff like that. Is just like the coolest looking, like Nidavellir
that art looks awesome.
That art is sick. So I don't know anything else about the game, but I just want to try it because of the look. And my dishonorable mention, I'm gonna shout this out because I've just heard a lot of negative reviews. I watched some playthroughs of Sanctuary, and that's the Ark Nova sequel, and it's not really being received well by reviewers who are getting it early.
Gotcha.
And that's real, like the Dice Tower kind of didn't like it that much either. And so that's, everyone should play their games for themselves, but as someone who's an Ark Nova fan, it doesn't seem like it's going to be like a replacement or a killer or something I even need to put in my collection, because I love Ark Nova so much already, and it doesn't seem to be improving on the formula, which is really a bummer. Sanctuary.
Yeah, I have one more honorable mention real quick. This one's called, it's coming from, I think it's 2 Tomato Games. It's another quick card game called La Cuenta, meaning the bill, where you're going out and you and your people are at the table. You're going to tapas bars, and you're getting your tapas. And for those that don't know, those are like appetizers, and you're going to be pretty much paying the bill, and whoever is the last one standing with the most money wins the game. So this looks like a quick family weight game, something that you can just get for a lot of non-gamers, something that I'd be interested in just for my family. They're not really big heavy gamers, and when they see something that's La Cuenta, just take on to their Spanish heritage, they're going to be intrigued by that. But a quick, easy, fast-playing game is like 1.25 on the BGG wait list. So yeah, give me something quick playing that's gonna that they can kind of get around, because we all know people don't like to pay that bill. They, everybody's, hands behind their back trying to pay that bill. But yeah, this is kind of.
I need to go to the bathroom real quick. Hold on, I'll be right back.
The bill came. Yep, a nice little theme. So I think everybody can kind of get behind this one. That's La Cuenta.
Yeah, La Cuenta. It says, order a lot of tapas and let another foot the bill! Exclamation point. Okay, so that is our main topic, the hype list. So we always are going to close out our episodes with En la Mesa, which is on the table. We're going to talk about a game that has hit our table recently and just give you our first impressions. So I will start with my game today that I'm talking about is Skyrise. This has 3 designers, Gavin Brown, Sebastian Pachon, and Adam Wise. Came out in 2024, and I just want to highlight Sebastian Pachon. He's one of my favorite designers. He's kind of a sleeper designer. He's got Jaipur and Botnik, which are really 2 great 2-player games that my wife and I love playing together, the queen herself. It's about a 2.28 weight and 2 to 4 players. Have you played Skyrise, Jazz?
No, it's on my shelf. I just acquired this at PAX Unplugged last year.
Did you get the standard edition or collector's edition? What's your status?
Reg, we're gamers.
What's your wallet? What's your wallet like?
My wallet doesn't say I can go deluxe, but I went deluxe.
Nice. Okay, so it's funny because if you go to the Roxley website right now, it is out of stock, the normal version. The collector's is still available. It's like $125. Not to out you there, the really big collector's one, but that's what I got to play, and I just was blown away by this production. I mean, it was like, this is Roxley, who does Radlands, and I think they do don't they do Dice Throne and stuff? They do
Dice Throne. They do Brass.
Yeah. Brass, like they're known for. I have the Iron Clays from them, so they are known for like deluxe stuff. But I was still very impressed. I mean, this looked like an Ivy Studio game. It was really, it's really beautiful. That being said, the whole time I was playing it, I was like, I would want the standard version. So it's funny. I actually said, like, I think I would be happy with the standard version. The key to the city, which is the first person who finishes like all their buildings, gets the key to the city. It's 10 points, and it's a heavy giant, like looks like a janitor's key or like a dungeon master's key. And second place is a little coin that like insets perfectly in the handle of the key. It's insane. So when you open yours up, you need to go on that. That's what you need to do. You need to punch that tonight. Check that out if you see it. But it is really cool. And so the game is a area majority game with bidding. And so everybody has these buildings, and it feels a lot like Raw coins. If you've played Raw by Reiner Knizia, you have all these different bidding coins. And so, like, I have the 22, my neighbor has the 21, someone has the 23, and someone has the 24. And then I also have the 36, and then someone has the 34, the 33, and the 31. So, like, within each set of 10, you're going to have, like, the biggest number, the second biggest, the third biggest, and the fourth biggest. I don't know exactly how they math it out. I thought that would be like really complicated. I was like, this sounds, and I was playing with a bunch of designers who are all like have published or unpublished games, and they're like, it's not that hard. They're like, no, that's not that big of a deal. I'm like, all right, I'm sorry. I guess I'm just an idiot. But what's cool about it is all you do is you place down a building upside down on one of the regions. There's 5 like floating islands. It's like this futuristic looking like floating island blimps and type look here. You place it upside down. Someone has to place their building a higher number adjacent to it in an adjacent region, bidding like they're like, okay, now I'm bidding on this region next to that higher. And you keep going until people pass, and and once one person's left in, they just claim the region that they're on with the highest number. So they flip their building over and they claim that location. Everybody else takes their buildings that have been creating kind of like a chaining event across the map. They take the ones that they were, and then you claim some little discs. There's a little bit of set collection with that. And you just keep going. And then and there's 2 eras. You get some more buildings once someone runs out of buildings. It actually feels a lot like Blue Lagoon, funny enough. It feels like Blue Lagoon mixed with Raw, which are both Knizia games. So, I mean, the one and only good doctor, inspires everybody. But what's just so interesting is like the chaining of a bid. Like you're not bidding on the spot you want. Like if you bid on a spot in the middle, the region that gets taken could be 4, 5, 6, 7 spots away, because you just have to keep moving off of that by playing a bigger number. And all your buildings are upside down. So you see that, I have a 65 and nobody else has anything higher than that right now. So I know I can just claim a spot right now. And then there's these dead ends. And so they are not adjacent to anything. So if you cut that off on your next turn, you can just place a building face down in a spot that nobody can play off of. So there's this interesting like jockeying for position and like trying to force people to chain things the direction you want. There's all these different colors. It's a bummer. There's like yellow and brown. I feel like they're like and white. They're like a little too similar, that look on there, but it goes pretty well. I thought I was popping off. I had a ton of points and I got like 3rd place out of 4. We played it in like 90 minutes. It was great. I definitely want my own copy. I'm going to shout out Game Nerds for a second time today. We're not sponsored, by the way, but they do have the standard version for like $47, which I feel like is a pretty good price for.
Oh yeah, it's
and
solid.
it's wooden. Yeah, it's like wooden and cardboard, But I will say you gotta at least look at the collector's edition. Let yourself be tempted first because it is a huge part. Like we were in a huge convention hall at PAX West. And every single person that walked by, like at least stopped and like looked at what we were playing. And that is a really cool feeling to have. Again, we're talking about conventions today. So it was like, what a really cool thing to have people like be just stunned by the table presence. That's Skyrise.
Yeah, this is one that, that table presence alone is the one that got me. And honestly, I wasn't going to pick this up. I had a friend who lives, probably about 50 minutes north of me who has a copy of the deluxe or edition, but PAX Unplugged every year has a flea market where people just post their games on BGG, and this is one that 2 days before the convention someone posted they were getting rid of theirs, and it was brand new, still in shrink, everything there, and I picked it up for probably like less than $80. So it was. I had to say, it's like, yeah, give it to me, thank you. All right.
Yep. Sorry, your hand was forced. I mean, you had to. You had
to
buy it at that point.
Someone they were just twisting my arm when they made that post, and I just saw it, and I made the purchase.
You got to be careful about those flea markets. I literally went to a flea market this weekend and I bought 6 games. So they're all incredible, but that's that. Okay. Great. Yeah, that's Skyrise. What's your En La Mesa for today?
My game, my brother and I had just a day where we just played war games. And I'm not a heavy, big war game person, but I had this game on my shelf that I've been trying to get to the table for a while and just having the right person to play it with. And this is the Shores of Tripoli from Fort Circle Games and the designer Kevin Bertram. Now, Fort Circle, for those who know, the Shores of Tripoli, Votes for Women, very thematic, heavy game, not heavy games, but thematically heavy, where it's going to it's going to just drench you in the theme of what you're playing, and everything is historically accurate. It has its rule book, but it has it's a companion book that just kind of gives you the history of everything that's going on, so you understand what you're doing as you're playing. But what's super interesting about this game is it's not a heavy game at all. Something that you can pick. It's pretty much just I would say a card management game, where hand management, where you're just playing out these cards and you're going to be manipulating your ships and frigates and corsairs on the board, trying to have your victory conditions. But both sides play very different. You have the American side, and then you have the Tripolitan. Somebody help me, because I can't even pronounce it.
I can't even help you here. Tripolitan
player. Okay, so
Neapolitan.
The Tripolitan player. Okay, is they're pretty much doing pirate raids. That's how they're going to win. They're trying to get coin. If they acquire these 12 coins, they win. So what's crazy about this, what I thought was pretty interesting about this game is in the rulebook, and I like when rulebooks do this. If you're very new to the game, it gives you like a strategic way to kind of go about your play, because again, you don't know the cards unless you sit there and you look at all the cards in the deck before you play. You kind of have this, you can meta everything, and I'm not that type of player. I'm a set everything up, learn it as I go, and figure it out, and if I like it, let's play it again. But
we're two tactical boys here. We're not forward. We're tactical chicos here.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, like, I like to be surprised with when I see cards, and like I don't like to know what I have to go into. So yeah, I play the Tripolitan player. My brother played the American side. We played, I think, I want to say 3 games of this. And what's interesting is the Americans have more of this late game setup. So they're pretty much trying to, in the beginning of the game, they're trying to establish themselves, establish their jockeying for position, how they have their frigates and their big ships positioned throughout the map, because they're pretty much going to be invading Tripoli, the shores of Tripoli, trying to get there. And then it becomes this like outward just assault on Tripoli. And that's where they're trying to wait till they play that card. And they pretty much have amassed the forces and the troops to be able to just naturally just win. But the Tripolitan player is just trying to either gain coins or defeat 4 of the American ships. And there's going to be opportunities where you can do that. And that's, I was able to win all 3 games, twice, pirating and getting coins, and then 1 just killing the 4th ship of my brother's. But man, the turns are very snappy. But what's pretty cool is like there's just this tenseness in the dice rolls that I really, really enjoyed in this one. And I'm excited to get this one back to the table. But what's really cool, like when you look at the cards, I'm like, man, this card is just so good. I got to play it now. But you got to figure out when's the right time to play it. Because sometimes you're discarding cards to be able to put more ships on the board, to be able to maneuver things. But understanding when you have your allies, when you need to get your allies out on the board, because you have your Moroccan allies, you have the Algerian allies, and it's just trying to find the right time and right combination of card play. It's just super tense, very easy, something that anybody can really pick up. If you've played any type of card game, I came from, I've played a little bit of Lorcana, dabbled a little bit in Magic, like just playing some starter decks and things like that. But this just gives me that feel when you're just playing someone one-on-one and you have this card, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to save this card for the right time to hit it. They play the card that you have the perfect counter to it, and it's one of those like aha moments, like I got you kind of deal. And this is what I really, really enjoy about this game. And the turns were tight. There was no runaway winner, runaway leader. Everything was, the die rolls were perfect, but it didn't seem like they was just too luck driven.
Too much luck, or
it's not too much
luck driven.
Yeah. It definitely comes down to the strategic card play.
Druck living.
Yeah.
That's too much druck living.
So that's games like this that have a lot of dice rolls. I like when there's this card manipulation that allows you to really have some player agency in your turns, and that's what I really
some luck mitigation.
Correct.
Trying to keep that stuff. That's great. I'm glad you said that. It seems a little more introductory, because I actually learned and played Votes for Women, and Shores of Tripoli is one of the games that's been sitting on my shelf of shame for the longest. So I'm actually a little embarrassed. I gotta get that to the table, and now I think I have a really good motivation. Now I gotta say, the Kevin Bertram, who's the designer of this, is also the founder of Fort Circle games.
Circle,
so
it's
really, it's his thing. And then they also, since we're talking about cons today, they do Fort Circle. It's called like, oh my gosh, I already forgot what it's called. I'm just looking it up here. Fort Circle Games, they do an event called Circle DC in DC every year in April. And I've heard great things about it, as like, it's really welcoming for people who like me, who like, I haven't really played any war games, but like, I want to try Cuba Libre and I want to try Undaunted and all these games.
Correct.
Shores of Tripoli will be the first probably the first one I get in on my table to like get into that, besides Votes for Win, which I would consider like, it's definitely historical and a war game adjacent,
Yes.
So yeah, that's great. Shores of Tripoli. That's cool. And you learn stuff from their games.
Correct. You do.
I mean,
it has a historical element to it. It's really good.
Awesome. Wow, we are doing so much better on time than episode 1 and 2. So
yes, we are.
We're very proud. We're trying to keep these at like 45 minutes, you guys. So thank you so much for listening. You can find us all over Instagram, Lobby of Hobbies and Rolling Reggie. And you can find us on Blue Sky, same thing. But also send us an email if you have any questions, if you want us to shout something out, if you want to, you want us to do some mailbag answers, ask us some questions, boardstatespod@gmail.com. That is BOARD statespod@gmail.com. And until the next episode, nos vemos.
Los vemos. Why? Because we are the best hobby in the world, and this is where friends become rivals and board states decide the outcome.
See ya.
Later.